Hello, everyone. Engines failing, wings bending, passengers screaming. What you're about to see is nothing short of unbelievable. These aviation incidents were caught on camera, leaving even experts stunned. From mid-air chaos to last-second miracles, brace yourself for the most heart-pounding moments ever filmed in flight. Watch as this plane makes a smooth landing. Everything seems fine, until it suddenly loses balance and slams into the ground. In a split second, flames erupt, lighting up the entire area like it's daytime. What should have been a routine landing turns into a fiery nightmare in an instant. During an air show, this biplane was pulling off a daring trick, coming in close to the ground for a flip, but it was too close, 1 second too much, and it hit the ground with a violent crash. Within seconds, flames erupted and the plane was destroyed. Alright, picture this. You're 30,000 feet in the air flying smoothly when you happen to look up at the overhead compartment. And what do you see? Baby snakes. Yep, snakes. Just casually chilling in the overhead bin, adding some unexpected wildlife to your flight. This is no joke. It's one of the most bizarre aviation fails ever caught on camera. Passengers on this flight were in for the shock of their lives when the engine suddenly caught fire mid-air. Flames visible outside, panic set in. Somehow, everyone managed to stay safe. A heart-pounding moment that could have gone much worse, but thankfully, no one was injured. Talk about a nightmare scenario. The aircraft is coming in for a landing, everything seems fine, but suddenly disaster strikes. In a shocking twist, it collides with a helicopter already parked on the ground. A moment of pure chaos, proving just how quickly things can go wrong in aviation. Caught on CCTV, a horrifying moment unfolds as the plane makes a sudden dive, crashing directly into the parking lot. Flames explode on impact, turning the scene into a fiery disaster. A shocking reminder of how quickly disaster can strike, leaving nothing but chaos in its wake. A truly shocking moment caught on camera. In the dead of night, an airplane is suddenly struck by lightning. You'd think it was impossible, but here it is, clear as day. A heart-stopping reminder of how even the skies can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. You're just driving down the road, minding your business, when out of nowhere, an airplane crashes just inches behind your car. The sheer terror of those moments as the plane plummets to the ground, narrowly missing you and setting the whole neighborhood on fire. It's a miracle the car wasn't hit, and it makes you realize how fragile life really is. This vintage fighter jet looked like it was flying smooth, until it wasn't. Mechanical failure strikes mid-air, and before anyone can react, the jet crashes and bursts into flames. The roar of the fire fills the air, turning this once proud aircraft into a fiery wreck in a matter of seconds. The plane touches down, everything seems fine, until one of its wheels suddenly comes off. Sparks erupt across the runway as the plane skids, leaving a trail of chaos behind. Luckily, no one was hurt, but the close call is a reminder of how quickly things can go wrong during a landing. What should have been a routine day at the airport turns into chaos when a semi-truck accidentally hits an airplane wing. The impact is intense, damaging the wing and the truck in seconds. A shocking moment that shows just how quickly things can go wrong on the tarmac. This is pure chaos! The helicopter's out of control, spinning wildly in the air as the pilot desperately tries to regain control. But it's too late. Next thing you know, it flips over and crashes to the ground, exploding in a fiery ball of destruction. A horrifying reminder of how quickly everything can fall apart in the sky. This is unbelievable! A passenger captures footage of the plane's wing losing its sheets mid-flight, and in the distance, flames are visible trailing behind. The situation is terrifying, and the fear on board is palpable as the plane battles with disaster in the sky. A heart-racing moment that leaves you wondering how it all went so wrong. A shocking moment unfolds as the plane crashes just beside the railway track, slamming into a tree with a violent impact. The wreckage is scattered everywhere, pieces of the plane breaking apart on the ground. A terrifying reminder of how quickly disaster can strike and how close this came to becoming even worse. A routine flight takes a terrifying turn. The biplane suddenly malfunctions, losing a crucial part mid-air. With no time to recover, it crashes straight into a signboard, leaving destruction in its wake. A chilling reminder of how quickly a smooth flight can turn into a catastrophic failure. Tourists on the beach were stunned as an aircraft suddenly crashed into the water, flipping over in front of their eyes. Luckily, no serious injuries, but that's a scene no one will forget anytime soon. A reminder of how quickly things can go from calm to chaos. The plane is coming in for a smooth landing, but out of nowhere, a transport car swerves right into its path. The screeching tires echo as the car collides with the plane, setting its wing ablaze. Flames shoot up, engulfing the scene in chaos. Just seconds from disaster, it's a terrifying reminder of how one wrong move can turn a routine landing into a life-threatening emergency. This is nothing short of a nightmare. The helicopter struggles in turbulence as it tries to take off, but the force is too much to handle. Suddenly, everything goes wrong. The parts start falling apart, and before anyone can react, the front of the helicopter detaches and crashes down. A shocking reminder of how quickly things can fall apart when the forces are too strong. A heavy biplane starts its takeoff, but things quickly go south. The runway is squeezed between towering trees, and as the plane lifts off, disaster strikes. It gets caught in the thick branches, bringing the plane crashing down in a violent, terrifying moment. A shocking reminder of how tight spaces and bad decisions can lead to catastrophe. A heart-stopping moment as the plane makes an emergency landing in the water. The tension builds as it hits the surface, but against all odds, everyone on board is saved. A miraculous escape, proving that even in the most desperate situations, survival can still prevail. A terrifying moment near Mexico as an ATU plane crashes. The pilot fights to regain control, but engine failure leaves him with no choice. The plane comes down hard, crushing the wings beneath it. A heart-stopping reminder of how quickly disaster can strike, no matter how skilled the pilot. The helicopter hovers, ready to land, but the board meant to carry heavy cargo just isn't stable enough. The wheels slip, and suddenly, everything goes wrong. The helicopter struggles to regain control, but can't keep its balance, crashing violently. A catastrophic scene unfolds as two police helicopters collide mid-air. One is on the pit and the other attempts to land, but in a split second their wings crash into each other. The impact is devastating, destroying both helicopters, and they fall to the ground in a pile of wreckage. A routine landing turns into chaos. The helicopter struggles as its body starts spinning uncontrollably. Before anyone can react, it flips and crashes to the ground in a devastating moment. Out of nowhere, an aircraft begins to fall from the sky, its technical issues taking over. It crashes onto a crowded road with cars frantically trying to move out of the way. The moment it hits the ground, flames explode, turning the scene into a fiery disaster. A terrifying moment that'll leave you on the edge of your seat, reminding us just how quickly things can spiral out of control. Passenger plane on the runway. Everything looks fine until it suddenly slides off track and crashes into the fence. The wing is torn apart, but miraculously everyone walks away unharmed. A close call that proves how quickly things can go wrong, even on a straight path. A terrifying moment on the runway as a plane lands, only for disaster to strike. Suddenly, it bursts into flames and collides with another plane on the tarmac. What should have been a routine landing turns into a chaotic inferno, showing how quickly things can go from calm to catastrophic. A routine landing quickly goes wrong as the plane's landing gear fails. It slides off the runway, skidding across the grass at the airport. The tension builds, but in an unbelievable turn of events, everyone walks away unharmed. A heart-pounding reminder of how things can go wrong in an instant, but sometimes luck steps in to save the day. What should have been a smooth takeoff at the airshow turns into a nightmare. The Spitfire, just about to soar, suddenly flips mid-air and crashes with a deafening thud. The crowd watches in horror as the iconic plane tumbles to the ground. A chilling reminder of how even the most skilled pilots can face disaster in an instant. A small plane takes off, but technical issues force a quick turn to land. Despite the pilot's best efforts, control is lost and the plane crashes to the ground. A terrifying moment that shows just how quickly things can spiral out of control in the air. What was supposed to be a simple lift turns into pure chaos. The helicopter carrying the telecom Christmas tree clips a cable with its rotor. In a split second, the chopper loses control, breaking apart mid-air and crashing violently. A jaw-dropping moment showing just how fast things can spiral out of control when disaster strikes from above. Out of nowhere, this helicopter loses control and plummets toward the snowy mountain. In a dramatic, heart-stopping moment, it crashes, sending snow flying. No time to react, just the raw force of nature taking over. This is pure heroism in action. The plane goes down over a residential area, and the pilot does everything he can to save the homes below. In a desperate move, he steers the aircraft away from the houses, crashing it safely on the road instead. The footage captures pure panic. As the engine shakes violently, it's clear something is seriously wrong. The flames are visible, and it looks like it's ready to break off at any moment. Passengers are on edge, the terror palpable in the air. A moment that left everyone on board holding their breath, hoping for a miracle. These moments prove that when you're in the sky, anything can happen. But you haven't seen it all yet. In our next video, we're diving into even more unbelievable aviation events that defy logic. Click here to watch. Before you go, drop a comment. Which moment shocked you the most? Don't forget to subscribe because the skies hold even more surprises.